Hello racing fans, this is NASCAR Racing Fan 2015 back with our NASCAR view, and this one is on Circle Sport and the Motorsports Group as they are going to be parting ways in 2018. Before I get further into this NASCAR view, I have decided after this video to take some time off from posting YouTube videos, much like Logan Paul is doing, except I didn't creep into the woods and laugh at a dead body. Since I am in no rush to put out videos, I have decided to use the worst month of the year as a preparation for the new NASCAR season. I plan to work on the NASCAR view schedule and creating some high quality content, as well as the 2005 NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series season. So don't expect any videos on this channel until cars are on the track in Daytona. I hope you guys can survive without me for 5 weeks and enjoy the 2018 season on this channel. And one more thing I want to clarify is I plan on doing all the NASCAR views that have been requested and all the silly season news, no matter when it comes out. I think I will be fine doing it in March or April. And I haven't forgot about that commercial rant. I plan on doing that in the near future. Now that we got the drama out of the way, let's get to this wonderful silly season carousel that occurred with Circle Sport and the Motorsports Group. Both teams have been absolute garbage, and it's just embarrassing to look at the history of both these organizations. Circle Sport has struggled for years on their own, and they always have to depend on other teams to succeed. Circle Sport came to the Cup Series when Clint Boyer ran out of Cheerios in his cereal bowl. He took on Michael Waltrip and 5-Hour Energy in the 2012 season and later turned into NASCAR's Ugly Duckling. This car was essentially RCR's special occasion cash cow for 4 seasons. Basically, Richard Childress Racing would milk the team for money when Cheerios paid for the Dillon brothers to run the Daytona 500. After that race, the cash cow ran out of money to milk, and they were stuck in neutral for the rest of the year. Average drivers like Landon Kessel, Stephen Light, and Jeff Green, they are enough proof that this team had issues. In addition, they have also become known as NASCAR's leech organization. This annoying bug always has to depend on other teams for blood. They aligned with Hillman Racing in 2015 and sucked all the cars and resources out of this team, and they immediately dropped them when all blood was gone. And Hillman Racing owner Mike Hillman later filed a lawsuit that was sadly dropped. That would have been fun to watch. 2 budget teams fight over a NASCAR charter. They later jumped for Levine Family Racing in 2016, which produced mixed results. You could say this was McDowell's best season, but there were still tons of bugs with this move. Talk about letting Ty Dillon race the 95 for 1 race, putting your top driver in jeopardy for a silver spoon brat. Makes total sense. In a shocking turn of events, Circle Sport decided to leave Levine Family Racing, and in 2017, it got a whole lot worse. The Motorsports Group, however, had it even worse. As a brand new team for the 2015 season, the only thing that went for them was that they weren't BK Racing. With that said, look at all the drivers that have ran that car in the last 2 years and how many times they failed to qualify for a race. You had Truck Series champion Ron Hornaday, and you blew it. Talk about failure. Ron Hornaday qualified for 1 race with the team, and he finished 42nd due to mechanical issues. He was replaced at Bristol by NASCAR bust Jeff Green. His results with the team were slightly better. He finished 40th out of 43 cars in his first race at Richmond. He backed it up by failing to qualify at Dover and Charlotte. He was later released and replaced by Travis Quaffle. He beats up race cars as much as he beats up his wife. But whatever. He was the 2003 Truck Series champion. The team entered 3 races with Quaffle at Kentucky, Bristol, and Darlington. In a shocking turn of events, they failed to qualify for all 3 races. Josh Wise was later hired to drive for this team, and he is by far the better driver out of the 4. He qualified for Richmond and finished 37th. It was the team's first top 40 finish. They returned with Travis Quaffle for Chicagoland and New Hampshire, failing to qualify again. They ended 2015 withdrawing from Dover because of the hurricane. At season's end, Travis Quaffle was released from the team. So in reality, the Motorsports Group just paid Travis Quaffle money to basically show up and just try to qualify. And that sure gave Quaffle his retirement fund and protection if he takes out his frustrations on his wife again. Great job, TMG. You got nothing out of that deal. He didn't even make a start for you. It was that bad. 2016 was a better year for the team, mainly because Michael Waltrip Racing shut down and the team was guaranteed in the race. Josh Wise ran a majority of the races, with his best finish coming at the Kentucky Demolition Derby, slotting in at 24th. With that, the team was still in the back and never built a foundation. Josh Wise was cut, and instead, let's go after NASCAR's next Jeff Gordon and Greg Gaulding, as Krispy Kreme and the whole town were portraying this kid as the next big star. This silver spoon brat got a ride and performed the same as the other drivers, failing to qualify at Homestead. So with awful results for both teams in their history, it was announced in January of 2017 that both Circle Sport and TMG would align for the 2017 season. Circle Sport would leech off of TMG for resources such as cars, engines, and personnel, in addition to their own weak equipment. TMG would not have to worry any more about failure, as they would share Circle Sport's NASCAR charter for the entire 2017 season. With both being Chevrolet teams, it would also be easier to manage. When it came to picking a driver, they went with Jeffrey Earnhardt. To be honest, Jeffrey Earnhardt is only in NASCAR because of his last name. His NASCAR career crept up on everyone so suddenly we realized there was another Earnhardt racing in the field. In over 70 starts in Xfinity and trucks, he has only netted one top 10 finish. So basically, the only reason why he's in here, like I said, is because of his name. I would put him along with Austin Cindric, Corey LaJoie, and Ben Kennedy. He is simply here to carry on the legacy of the family history. With that said, he's not an awful driver, but he hasn't proven himself of getting that car. That's what separates him from rich brats like Brandon Jones, Brian Scott, Tim George Jr., and John West Townley. Hey, Jeffrey Earnhardt still has as many wins as Chase Elliott with 2 years of Hendrick equipment. Maybe he has potential. So how did the 2017 season go? It was a mixed bag. Jeffrey Earnhardt seemed to either have mechanical issues or get into incidents weekly. He racked up 14 DNFs, which led the series. However, the Circle Sport TMG partnership created two things they severely lacked: stability and sponsorship. For the first time, both teams didn't change the driver lineup every week, and they had a foundation. They finished 22 races, which is a great improvement, and learned more from having a full-time driver in Jeffrey Earnhardt. They also had freaking Hulu sponsorship, for crying out loud. One of the brokest teams in the garage had one of the most commonly used sponsors in NASCAR. So many millennials and adults alike have a Hulu subscription. So these ordinary people had a bridge to the Circle Sport TMG partnership and NASCAR, which is amazing. It's something drivers like Clint Boyer, Trevor Bayne, and even Austin Dillon lack. Brand promotion. Nobody cares about Haas Automation, Performance Plus, and Dow. When people see the Hulu car, they can instantly relate to the brand and engage with it. Not only Hulu, but NASCAR itself. So in my opinion, it was right for them to give a contract extension. And it all came true in October 2017. Circle Sport and the Motorsports Group, Jeffrey Earnhardt and Hulu all extended for 2018. For the first time, Both teams wouldn't be cleaning house, and finally, this team could grow into a C-level team like Germain Racing and JTG Doherty Racing did before them. They could be one of the teams on the rise. Nope. No, they just can't learn. 2 months later, it was announced by TMG in December 2017 that Circle Sport would not be returning to the partnership. Jeffrey Earnhardt and Hulu were immediately released from their contracts. My opinion, what was Joe Falk thinking? Cleaning house for the 10,000th time again. But not only that, they signed a contract to immediately cease it. I really shouldn't be surprised since they love cleaning out that house and starting over every single year, every off-season. This is such a terrible move on all fronts, especially since Daytona is a few weeks away. And you guys might say, well, life's a beach, and then you drive. But basically, both teams are screwed for 2018. Just look at 2017 whenever Carl Edwards retired. Not only did the 19 team struggle, but all of Joe Gibbs Racing had issues in the first half of the season. Not only do both teams have to find new drivers, but now they have to rebuild everything in 2 months before Daytona. Add in that new Chevrolet Camaro. Fun times are coming for Joe Falk and Curtis Key now that they've split up and gone their separate ways. So the predictions for both Circle Sport and TMG, not very good. Not good at all. I predict Joe Falk and Circle Sport will leech off another small team which they fail in their rebuild. Again. TMG will probably qualify for a lot less races in 2017, and they will probably have a carousel of drivers. Probably Gray Galding, Corey LaJoie, and probably some other loser or something like that. It's going to be a lot of awful drivers driving for this team, and it's going to be an absolute driver carousel like they've done before. As for Jeffrey Earnhardt, it all depends on what Hulu decides to do in 2018. If they stay, I see a ride at NASCAR's cash cow opening up. Imagine RCR and an Earnhardt uniting again. Tons of merchandising opportunities for them, and it could also expose Richard Childress Racing and the iconicness of NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt and the three, to those people watching Hulu. It could be a great partnership. However, Hulu is likely gone, just like Aspen Dental, Subway, Target, Great Clips, Farmers Insurance, Dollar General, Nature's Bakery, GoDaddy, Home Depot, Best Buy, and Cheerios. So they are probably going to be joining that list. While making this video, I realized there are worse teams than BK Racing. At least they had Matt DiBenedetto and Corey LaJoie for more than a year. Every offseason, you see Circle Sport and TMG clean house, and even in the middle of the season, just like the Cleveland Browns. Unlike the Browns, I have no sympathy for this huge field-filling dumpster fires. And they will never become C-level teams. They will always fail and continue to be a laughingstock in the NASCAR world. It is time for new ownership. Joe Falk is a joke of an owner. Curtis Key is a joke of an owner. Both of them need to be taken out and put them into someone who actually cares about this team. Otherwise, they're going to continue to be field fillers for years to come. Thank goodness I don't have to do this again until Daytona.